I am really bad at keeping up with social media. I am really bad at keeping up with daily news. Every time I like an actor, he turns out to be a pedo. Mom told me that Tracy Grimshaw represents all truth, and I'm trying to weed out the lying while real people are dying. And if silence is deadly, can anybody help me reconcile it? It's getting traction, we should treat with some suspicion. Clickbait, baby, advertising. Real shit isn't advertising.
So the album is called This Means More to Me Than It Does to You.
It's more to me than it does to you.
What is the meaning of that to you?
Well, maybe about 3 years ago now, I started getting, I don't want to say writer's block, but I'll say it, in the way that whenever I was writing, I noticed that I was really kind of holding back a little bit because I was envisioning who was going to hear it, what they would think, if they would understand it.
Okay.
Even just people I know, a few people knew my music at that time. And so I was getting a bit in my head and like holding back on saying certain things, or particularly like saying lines that maybe were a bit abstract and stuff like that, because I'm, as you may know, like I love really specific lyrics, and there's not really a way that you can hear it and not understand it. Like it's not really pick your own meaning. It's just like this happened and this happened. But yeah, I was kind of getting stuck in that. And then, so I pretended to myself, I played a little mind game with myself that I was writing for I had an EP in mind at the time, and the title would be Means More to Me Than It Does to You, as a kind of safety net for if I write lyrics that don't mean anything to anyone, then the title would kind of explain it, you know. Okay. It means more to me than it does to you, you know. It had a little safety there. So I started writing songs, and I kind of broke the seal a little bit, which was great. And then I ended up making this album. I thought I'm going to keep it as the title. Yeah, that's how that came about.
That's cool. So when I was thinking about it, it reminded me of the lyric in Leonard Cohen's Hallelujah of but you don't really care for music, do you?
Yeah.
I was wondering, is this kind of a statement to the audience in a sense, like, you have no idea how invested I am in the creation of this thing. It's like the way that this touches me. It's like I'm never going to be able to put proper words to it. You know,
that's beautiful.
That kind of, it's like a statement to the audience in general, not to someone in particular. Like, because that song you could almost imagine he's speaking to a lover or something like that. And you could imagine that with the title too.
100%, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm definitely speaking to the listeners, the audience in the title that I went with. But yeah, it's interesting that you bring that up. Like it could be a lover, it could be a friend, or whatever it is, because I think that kind of does play into it as well. I definitely feel like I put a lot of weight on things that the person B maybe doesn't in life in general. So yeah, it does play into all those little meanings. That's a nice reference though, the Leonard Cohen one. Sorry, I said Leonard Cohen. You said, yes, you did say Leonard Cohen.
Yeah.
And that is a beautiful lyric. I've never thought of it like that as well.
I think I heard that from someone analysing the lyrics they offhandedly had said that, and I'd never really thought about, because like that's one of those songs where it's like, I don't know how to interpret this. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like when I don't know if you see a movie, see a piece of art, or you read a book. In particular with books, I've had this where like you read a book that is considered like a masterpiece, and then the first read through it, you're like,
yep, I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, it's like straight over the head, and you go, there's obviously something so deep in here.
Yeah.
And just like my ability to see down into that well, I don't have the depth perception to be able to get there yet.
Yes, I feel that with books 100% in particular. For sure.
Yeah, it's a great feeling. Give me a speed run through of how you started with music. Like how did you get in, and then how have you gotten to where you are now?
Yep. Speed run. Cool. Yeah. Well, my dad is a little one man band. He plays guitar, harmonica, and he sings. So I was always around it when I was a kid. And my older sister used to sing a lot when I was a kid as well. And just for fun. And she doesn't do it anymore, which is such a shame. Okay. But I was around music, singing a lot. And then when I was 3, I said to my sister, I was like, I want to be a pop star when I grow up.
Okay.
Which is not the case anymore.
Okay.
Pop star's pretty wild.
That is not.
But it was obviously in my conscience. And then, yeah, around like my early teens, even like 10, 11, I did a lot of musical theatre and did that all the way through my teens. So that kind of kept me performing a lot. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. And that was my whole life. And I also, when I started high school, I started doing a lot of singing lessons and band performing stuff there as well. And that kind of got me through. And then after high school, I did study at Collarts.
One of the Collarts
which was actually a long time ago now. I was quite young. I graduated quite young, and then I went straight to Collarts, and we were like the first cohort of music students that was more than like 20 people. There was like 150 of us. It was the first big cohort, and that was in 2016, so a while ago now.
Yeah,
and studied there. That was really good fun, and helped me meet some like Melbourne people. I'm from Geelong originally. And after that, I just started doing band stuff. I was kind of doing my own band stuff all the way from back to like probably 15 years old. I started doing a couple, like with a few friends, doing a few self-managed projects and learning on the job.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
See, it's so cool to be able to hear that from you, because listening to your music, and this is the first time I'd ever come in contact with your recordings as well. I'd never listened to any. Do you have a couple of? Was there a few singles beforehand?
Yeah. I had I've been releasing singles since I think it would be 2022. I got an EP out from way ages ago, and then a 3-track in 2023. Yeah.
Something that came across in this album was this person has actually been in contact with music for a long time.
Thanks. That's so cool to hear.
I thought about that with. There are some artists, Hosier is an example I always go to, where you can tell from the first single is insane for Take Me to Church, but if you listen to any of the music, there is a sense of an age within that artist that is so much deeper than the 25, 26-year-old that is presenting. And I feel like that, maybe it's like an age, a wisdom, a certain sense of experience that has come from life. I feel like that's also within the album. I really wanted to find out more about how each song came about.
Yep.
The feeling is that it was a collaborative, lots of people chipping away and adding things, because the arrangements move from, like incredibly lush and beautiful, and then really precise moments, and you've got like textures in the background. It sounds like, I think in your bio you said something about sharehouse pop music.
Yeah, I go by Aussie sharehouse pop as my genre.
Yeah, well, that's a great description. I think you nailed that, because I feel like I can almost hear friends in a room when in songs on the album.
Awesome.
So how did a song like Tracy Grimshaw come about?
Tracy Grimshaw. So, I'll say like for all of the songs, they usually all started in the same way. I come in to the studio with a fully written song, or at least very almost
so that's
finished.
Guitar chords.
That's
and lyrics?
pretty much just guitar and definitely a whole set of lyrics. And just guitar. Or there's actually a couple of piano tracks on here too. But
My
just
Mind is one that.
Yeah, that's the only one maybe. The first piano track I ever recorded actually. But just like the chords and the lyrics, I'll come in. And for Tracy Grimshaw, actually I may as well comment on the whole album, because it was all kind of done the same way. I worked with a producer, Dave Jenkins Jr. He's up in Sydney. He's incredible. And he has a studio up there at Golden Retrievers Studio. He's a drummer, performer, producer, and he does kind of everything. He's been around for a little while. And I worked with him. He was engineering and mixing as well. And my partner, Will, as well. And it was just us three in the studio the whole time, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That is so surprising.
Yeah.
It really sounds like a bunch of people covering. Maybe that speaks to your ability to be comfortable with each other and
Totally.
occupy different personalities or emotional states.
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. And like, I'm very lucky that both of those two play everything. So there was a lot of collaborating in the studio, and just jumping on, like we all just threw instruments around and fucked around really. So that's how that happened. Tracy Grimshaw was out of all the songs, it was the trickiest one to arrange. It's the only one that we really got it. We had to get quite bitsy with it. And as you can hear, there's like instrumental parts in there, like big breaks. That was the only bit I didn't have when I had written the song.
Yeah.
I never leave space for breath. So, but I remember when we recorded it, we were like, let's give some breaks in there.
Yeah.
Let's just do some instrumental parts. And we ended up kind of looking at the whole format and having to kind of move some pieces around like a puzzle. Really happy with the end result. But yeah, we just get in there for pretty much all the songs. We'll get in and then I'll record a guide track to click. So usually just guitar and vocals, really rough, just to get the form of the song. And then Will would lay down the drums. Usually during that, Dave would be playing the bass, maybe tracking at the same time. And then after that, we kind of just go ham. Bit of guitar, bit of vocals, a lot of synths, which is where you get most of those textures. And that was definitely the case for Tracy Grimshaw. It all kind of happened in that order. And then in the end, we kind of had to, cut and copy and move some sections around and make it work.
Had you ever done that with songs before? Like, click track, form, drums, bass, and then...
Only this one ever.
Yeah, because I've never done that with a song. And to get to a point where you can sit down and feel confident that you're able to pull something like that off. I wouldn't even know how, because you had the guide track and you've got the drums recorded and something like that. It's almost feels like that's set.
100%. The guide track just came completely. Like, it always just comes completely out by the end. But that is, I got to say, that's credit to Dave. Working with Dave, I feel like he can make anything happen. He's also he's a drummer himself, and he's incredibly good at recording drums and just like adding them in. It's crazy watching him do it. He's such a pro. But this is the only time I've ever done it, and I didn't want to do it, but we were listening through and I was like, I just feel like what this instrumental needs. I can't even remember what it was, the form before this, but I was like, this instrumental needs to be here, not here. I was like, is it crazy? Like, do you reckon you could do that? And he was like, yeah, for sure. And all we really ended up needing to do was to like make the transition between sections work, was just add like a big wash to kind of mask the changeover. But I think it worked in the end for sure.
Underneath the mask is just like jittering tracks.
Absolutely, yeah. Tectonic plates shifting.
Sweet Dave. Well done, man.
Yeah, he's such a legend.
The drums sound so good.
Don't they? I love the way the drums sound. Good. Yeah, and Will had a ball. We were recording the drums in the vocal booth, so they're just this tiny, tiny room. Nothing else could have fit in there, and we always just recorded the kick, snare, and hi-hats, pretty much. Only, and then we do all the cymbals later.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because that's all that could fit in the room. But it had this lovely like dry sound.
Working with those limitations, they work out
Love
really well,
limitations.
Right? Yeah. I got this from your Spotify bio.
Yeah.
I attend your gigs because your songs tell me more about you than you ever will. It's from your mum.
That's from my mum. Yeah, she texted me that once.
Shout outs to mum.
Always shout outs to mum.
So why do you think it's easier to reveal yourself through music than it is through a conversation with a loved one?
I think it's because writing comes from a place of like, what's the extended word for cathartic? Is it catharsis? Catharsis?
Yeah.
Catharsis. I think it's because music comes from a place of songwriting, for me, comes from a place of catharsis, or like with the intention of that. So if I'm going to write a song, I'm usually trying to get something out, whatever it may be.
Consciously?
Often.
Yeah?
Yeah, often. Yeah, for sure. So I think, and like I said before, sometimes I get a little stuck in thinking like, who's going to hear it? Are they going to understand it? How are they going to feel about it? But it always flows better, and the song is always so much better when like you just pretend like no one's ever going to hear it and you just say the real stuff. But by the time I finish a song, no matter how vulnerable it is, it's just by the time it's finished, I'm like, cool, that's a packaged product almost. Like I don't feel so attached to it, or I guess it kind of takes the edge off a little bit, and then I feel comfy playing it and releasing it. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, a reason I asked the the conscious approach to the cathartic feeling is because I've personally found with writing songs that like I sit down and I just have the practice of, okay, today I'm working on songwriting and songwriting and songwriting, and I won't have anything on my mind. And then through sitting down over and over again and just writing out lyrics, it's like, oh, this has become a thing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, perhaps it all of a sudden occupies some sort of emotional space that you can resonate with, and it takes on a kind of life story that you can relate to. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I definitely work a bit like that as well. I find I do write best when I force myself to do it sometimes.
Yeah.
At least, or maybe the better wording is when I get into a practice of it. And the practice only really comes if I force myself to do it, or put scheduled time aside to do it day after day or whatever it may be. But I think the more you just write, even if it is in that style or even if it's just absolute garbage every time, someone said to me once, the more you write, the more your songwriting eyes will be open. And then I find even the next day, maybe a feeling will come to me and I want to express it. And instead of thinking, oh, I'm going to go talk about it to a friend or do this or do that or keep it inside or whatever it may be, I think, oh, that could be a song. Like I think just like, or even just seeing something beautiful and you think, oh, that's a good lyric. I think only like that mindset only really comes if you have that practice in place.
Yeah, okay.
But I do like just writing word, like what you said, just kind of like writing whatever
Stuff.
comes to you down and then finding meaning out of it. I do, though, find that my favourite songs of mine don't often come from that place. They usually come from they often come from me like thinking of one line and I'm like, cool, that's the song, and then going from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no real.
Yeah, the rules to it.
There's no real way that it all works.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think like intentional songwriting is really, really helpful.
I didn't know this about Nashville being a songwriting factory.
Oh yeah.
And how there are individuals who are, you know, multi-instrumentalist producers, songwriters who will write a song a day, 5 days a week.
Yep.
And when I realized that, I went, oh, okay, it really is a muscle that people are flexing.
Yep.
And they can, maybe those people aren't producing the music that is to the same emotional depth, I'm not sure. But it does show that it is, like all things, a practice.
100%. Yeah, and even just like, it's like any job, I think. Like the more you do it, the more you prove to yourself that you can do it, the more comfortable you find yourself in that role. And then when a really important subject matter comes your way, you have the tools necessary to kind of get it out in the right way. I think.
How are you with that? How are you with the you said you feel more comfortable or that you feel more sure of yourself in being able to do it. You were kind of talking about how the title came out of a writer's block.
Yep.
Period. Do you feel when you sit down to write a song, I can do this?
Oh, sometimes not. I've gone through a bit of a drought over the last few months again as well, and you've got me at a good time because I just came back from this weekend. Me and my partner both went down to Apollo Bay, just into this shack, and just with just the intention of like writing and making music. So I've even just yesterday coming home from that. Yesterday I felt ideas coming to me, and I was like, oh, this is great. And so yes and no, I guess. Yes and no. Right now, if I was to sit down and write a song, I think I'd feel pretty good about it. A week ago, no, I probably wouldn't have. But it really depends on how much I'm doing it for me.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I do feel at times it's, kind of trying to grasp smoke or capture it or whatever. It's like, oh, you've got a bottle full of it and you're like, look at this, I can do this. And then the next time you just kind of waving your hands around like, surely I can grab something.
Plus, you want to catch more smoke than the last time. Like when you've written a song you really like, then you've got this kind of standard for yourself as well.
Yeah.
I find that hard to.
It's a good point. I wonder it wasn't even something I was going to talk about, but with the release of this album, and it's been received quite well, it seems.
I think it's been received quite well.
Yeah. And have you thought about, next album?
I have. Yeah, I've always, I really love this album actually, but I've always wanted to do an album that's a bit more cohesive lyrically.
Okay.
So potentially, I guess they would call that a concept album. I'd love to to toy with writing something like that. I still think there's a fair bit in me that's like doing this album has made me think, oh, cool, I could do that and I could do that. A little bit different. So yeah, I have started thinking about the next thing. I got some ideas. It'll be interesting to see what happens.
Do you want to listen to a little bit more of another one?
Let's go for it. I'm curious to see what you pick.
Yeah, I want it stuck with me for good.
Okay.
Sometimes you get in your head, it feels like you forget that I love you. So next time we're fighting, driving on the Princess Highway, just remember that I love you. And I think you're gorgeous, I feel I lucked out, I wanna stay here. I think I'll stick around. I know you're anxious, you're only human, and I don't mean only, 'cause you're like the best one. You're stuck with me for good. You're stuck with me for good.
Bravo.
Thank you.
When I was listening to that earlier, I wrote down a little side note. It's like, don't you wish that you could live inside some songs?
Aw, that is so nice.
But I wonder, what do you think? Why do you think music is important?
Holy crap. Oh man, my head's reeling through so many different answers right now, but I don't know if there's one in particular that like resonates really deeply with me. I think it just soundtracks. So, I mean, I'm using the word soundtracks. The word soundtracks wouldn't even exist without music, but it is the backdrop to so many important moments in our lives. I think that's really special. And I don't want to be cliche and say, it makes you feel things, makes you feel joy, makes you feel sad when you want to feel sad. But it really has to be that, right?
Yeah.
I just think of so many moments in my life where if there wasn't music playing at the time, it would have been so awkward. Every day at work, in the supermarket, you know what I mean? It's a gap filler, makes you feel things. I don't know. I guess it's that. I reckon I'm going to leave here though and think, I've got a better answer for that. If I do, I'll text you.
Yeah, text me the answer. We'll put it in the notes.
But yeah, I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I was like, give me the answer to it right now. You got to tell me.
You're gonna be like, correct.
Yeah, you got to tell me exactly why it's important. Because I only had this thought maybe in the last month or so.
Yeah.
Because I was doing a little ChatGPT binge, just like trying to, history of music.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking, okay, like what's the oldest record we have of music, and it's like ancient musical instruments. You go, okay, basically every ancient civilization we know of has music.
Yeah.
And then you go, and then here's all the theories as to why: social cohesion, a sense of unity, connection, and religious practice, and so on. But then underneath it, I realized I don't think we know why it took the form of music.
Yeah.
And that kind of popped my head more. I didn't really, I guess it's learning more about what is this tradition that I'm taking part in, and then you learn, it's like an unbroken line for maybe all of human history.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then how is it that it comes in the form of a song with melody and harmony? Why the heck? Why the heck is it that?
It stops making sense to me after a little while. Like, obviously, it makes sense that it felt good to sing with other people way back because you can feel the vibration matching up, and
that feels cool.
The wave, it feels good. Like even when you just sit down with a guitar and you pluck a string and you hum the same note and you feel those frequencies line up, like it just feels good. So you can see how that happened, and then you can see how harmony happened.
Yeah.
Thinking vocally
to
keep it basic. It feels even better to me. And then rhythm also makes sense. It feels like the next deviation. And so you can kind of see how music started, but like the idea of like the 3-minute song is crazy to me. And like I kind of hate it. And soon I think we're looking at 1 minute songs. I mean, we just played one then, but
You're the problem.
It's got to have cut now. I feel like it started as something that felt good, and now it's being reduced to something that is more like attention span focused. But yeah, it's pretty sick that it happened. Hey.
Yeah, it is pretty. Yeah. Thank goodness. I do wonder. Again, it's it felt good, and then I wonder, but why?
Yeah.
Like, it didn't have to. It didn't have to happen that like when the primate derived animal hummed along with the other one, all of a sudden it made them feel good.
They were like, "Oh, hello."
Yeah, that's just so strange that is a fact. But thank goodness that it is.
It is.
You were talking about the 1 minute song or the like shortened attention span.
Yeah.
I was having a conversation through messages with these people. A guy that I know, he put up a post very adamantly against the use of AI.
Yep.
For designing posters in particular. And people were commenting on that, and they were all agreeing with him. And the stuff that some people were saying was really intense, disgusting. Whoever uses AI to generate posters, you are disgusting.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, holy shit. To go, like, I don't really have a fully formed opinion on the matter.
Yeah.
But to see that people could jump to calling someone disgusting for using it is really intense. So obviously people feel really strongly about it.
Yeah.
Have you had conversations with people or thought about, do you have an opinion on the use of AI for like mixing, mastering, generating your own lyrics, posters? Where do you sit in this?
I'm kind of okay with it.
Yeah.
I don't use it myself. I've only really very lightly dabbled in a bit of it. I've jumped on a couple of times just to see what it would give me. Like, not even with a song in mind. I've just been like, oh, I wonder what their lyric writing's like. And I've been like, give me a song about this. And like, I always hate it. I think it's cool. But yeah, I love very specific personal lyrics. And yeah, I don't think it gives me that, and that's cool. But yeah, it's interesting about posters. Like when it comes to, I got to agree. I don't have a fully formed opinion either. Where I'm at is, I think it's happening. We may as well kind of embrace it. I'm not super stoked with. My housemates kind of educated me a little bit on like the data farm side of it, like the actual like environment. There's like quite a large environmental side of it that that kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. I'm like, damn, that sucks. If that wasn't a part of it, I would be embracing it a lot more.
Yeah.
But where I'd love to see it go, and I'm not the best person to talk on this. I'm not the most educated, but I think my concern is that we'll use more AI. It's obviously grabbing all of its content from somewhere.
Yeah.
Right? So like let's say it's spitting out a poster. All of those little bits of the poster have come from somewhere, even if they're minuscule, like tiny and minuscule. And then, the original artists, even if you can't tell it's them, aren't getting credited, and there's a bit of an issue there. But I feel like there's got to be some kind of world where it kind of is just like an open, everything's kind of open source, and like all art is kind of free to use from everyone's. As I said, I'm not the best person to talk about this.
Me either.
Yeah, but it feels like, from what I know of like even like the folk movement back, in the early 1900s or whatever it was, someone would play someone else's song.
Yeah.
And nothing was recorded or whatever, and then they would take that song and play it again, and then that's how songs would get shared, through just playing and listening and sharing. And it wasn't so much about who wrote it, where does the copyright go, et cetera, et cetera. It was just like, I'm playing this song because I love it. It's important. Can you please share it? And I'd love it. It'd be really cool. Like, I feel like there's a world where if AI gets more powerful and more used, we all just say, all right, let's surrender. All art is... anyone can kind of use anything from anyone else's art. It's not so much about who's getting credited. And I feel like, this is super crazy, I feel like there's a world where, we kind of let go a little bit more of that kind of stuff. And maybe that's a world where we actually make a bit more honest art that's like for, not so much for commercial success, but it's more for like expression.
Yeah.
Pretty deep answer. And again, I feel like there's going to be someone might listen to this and think, "What are you talking about? That can't happen." But there's got to be something in that. I think AI might take over, and it means, oh, all right, we're going to restructure the way we actually make art.
The idea of what you the art is just released out into the world, and as soon as it's released, you kind of sever your attachments to it.
Kind of
Something like that.
Something like that. Something like that.
Yeah,
Could be really cool.
I do wonder, with the idea of trying to pursue music with a career in mind, or art with a career in mind, that made me think of a question that I was wanting to ask you. Was do you have, why are you pursuing music? Do you have a career goal in mind with music?
My career goal as a teenager was always to make all my money off music.
Okay.
And then I got to a point where I was doing that. There was quite a bit of teaching involved. Quite quickly. I got there quite quickly, and I was like, well, shit. What am I going to do now? And it's like legit. Oh god, that's me done.
Yeah.
I'm still kind of struggling with what, like, in my head I call it my second goal. I'm still kind of struggling with what my second goal is. I know the answer should be to make money off just my original music.
Yeah.
You know, make a career out of my original project. Admittedly, I'm not like super hell bent on that. I kind of like dabbling in a few different things. I would love to, as a goal, I would love to be performing, writing, and a radio host as well.
Yeah.
That was another teenage dream that I'm trying to kind of get back into my brain again these days. But why is a great question. I kind of question myself on music every week. It's something that I did as a teenager. I loved it. And then I just kept doing it, And sometimes I think, do I want to be doing this? And then I think, yeah, I gotta, right? Because I keep doing it.
Do you have to?
I must like it.
Do
No,
you think?
I don't have to. No, not at all.
Yeah, okay.
But I keep doing it. So I think
Yeah.
I must love it. And I do.
Have you ever, it's like, I'm not doing this anymore?
Never.
You ever thrown in the towel?
Never. And that's why I think, just keep going.
Yeah.
That'd be cool if, like, by the end of my life, I just kept going.
Yeah.
May as well.
Yeah, and it's not something you really are having to force yourself in to doing. Oh,
Exactly.
I'm not sure if you are, but
No.
if you're not having to force yourself into doing it, then what's the point of like throwing the towel if it just keeps coming
100%.
up naturally for you?
100%. So yeah, I guess that's where I'm at. Yeah.
In that Tracy Grimshaw song, I think
Yeah.
you have the lyric is something like, "If silence is deadly, can someone help me?"
Yeah. Can anybody help me reconcile it?
Yeah. I was on my walk before this. A question popped into my mind. I've heard from other artists them say something along the lines of like, art is inherently political. Or if you're an artist, you are political.
Yep.
You can't help it.
Yep.
And I have no idea what that means.
I think about this a fair bit. It's a really interesting one. I think what it means is that if you have a pedestal, if you're naturally on a pedestal, or a platform's probably a better word, sorry. If you have a natural platform, use it. I think is what most people mean by that. I think Amel and the Sniffers made a post about this pretty recently.
Really? What'd they say?
The same thing. I can't remember it verbatim at all, but they were standing up for a bunch of stuff actually at a live show, and I think they copped a little bit of slack for it potentially. But Amy put up a post just saying, like, if you're an artist and you got an audience, like, your values are on display, use it for good.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And sometimes I think that's actually pretty intense.
It is intense.
It's a lot of pressure. But sometimes I think also, yeah, I agree. Like, if you got that platform, especially if you do stand for something, use it. I don't think I do right now.
You don't think you use it or have the platform?
I don't. Well, I can't say I don't have a platform because every platform's a different size, right? But I obviously don't have a colossal platform, but I don't use it. No.
Yeah, because there's the idea when you say something like all art is inherently political, or you have a platform, you should use it. There's that sense of obligation.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know anyone that started doing music for the sake of boosting a platform to be political, right? They did it because they liked the feeling of strumming the guitar and singing.
100%.
And then if they were lucky enough, they started strumming the guitar and singing, and then all of a sudden people started showing up and listening and clapping and giving them money to keep going.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, now tell us what you think about things.
100%.
When did this happen? And it's like, no, you can't not tell us what you think about things, because by not saying anything, that lyric, what you've in the song, it seems to imply. If you don't say anything, then you are allowing this platform to go to waste. You're allowing whatever the dominant narrative is to exist.
Absolutely, yeah.
But then I do wonder, it's like, okay, Hassall 2028, Glastonbury main stage, Oh, sorry, I shouldn't put your name there. We'll put someone else because of what I'm going to say next. They're main stage Glastonbury 2028, and they just say something super hectic, like anti-Semitic rhetoric just comes flying out of their mouth. And they go, I've got the platform, I should use it, right? And you go, ooh, maybe we don't want that. Maybe you don't, because if the idea is, it should be used for good, well, then it's going to be able to be used for bad too, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's a really tricky one. And it's definitely not, a lot of people, I think the same people that have that opinion that all art is inherently political, are probably people who have the opinion of what that song is actually about, which is, I wrote it back when everything started happening overseas, in Gaza. And again, I'm really not the most educated person to be talking on that topic at all, but a lot of people and a lot of people with a platform would share a lot of posts on Instagram, and I had this like real twist in my stomach, like I could talk on and on about it, but like it's like, are you doing anything about it? Is it just sharing a post? Does it matter? If you are just sharing a post, should I be sharing a post? Is it bad if I don't? Like all those questions are going through my head, and I'm like, I don't think I understand a lot of what's going on.
Yep.
Is it then okay to share a post if I don't even quite understand? It's like, just all these questions around it. And a lot of people, were kind of saying, silence is, there's a phrase that I'm forgetting.
Silence is violence?
Yeah, silence is violence. Yeah. And it really got to me. I was freaking out.
I had this happen to me recently too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I don't think either of us are, unique in that. I think a lot of people are feeling like that over the last few years, especially I think it started happening in COVID. A lot of stuff was just flying around online.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. I don't think people just think that about artists with a platform. I think people think about it with anyone that has an Instagram page or...
Yeah, it's a good point.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Yeah, it's like if you don't share this thing...
If you don't have an opinion on this, then...
Your opinion is the bad one. Or whatever it is. But it's a lot of pressure.
It is a lot of pressure. Yeah. That expectation that you need to have an opinion on this thing. It sounds like where you're coming from too is I don't know about this.
Yeah.
And for me to have a fully formed opinion about this means potentially hours and hours and hours of research in order to go, okay, I think I've peeled through enough of the layers of bullshit that undoubtedly sit on the top of this issue to get down to what I think is actually going
100%.
on. And it's like, this is getting so far off track.
That's okay.
But is it the expectation that you, for each citizen with a platform, with a social media page, to be an expert on the 100-year-old conflict that's going on the other side of the planet?
Absolutely. And that's not the only thing. Like, there's just so many.
Yeah, it's like whether or
things.
not the vaccine was the right thing or not, or whether or not the climate and this and that. And it's like, okay, so you need to be an encyclopedia on all these topics. And the reality is, it's like that's crushing you if you take a step back, look at all of the topics, and you go, man, I have no idea what's going on. And you're saying you're feeling that friction or that tension of like, I want to be able to find my feet in this space, but at the same time, something I think I'm putting words in your mouth here, but
No, not at all.
the way that I'm seeing people engage with this is rubbing me the wrong way. That cascade of posts that are being shared. And you go, I mean, surely not everyone has done that research.
100%. But then you're like, oh, but it shouldn't matter. Like it's just a bit of a mind game. But that is what that song is about.
I had to Google who Tracy Grimshaw was.
Sick! Wow. Grew up without a TV, maybe.
My dad was into Sky News.
Sick.
So I don't even know who those presenters were.
Yep.
Yeah, but I looked at Tracy Grimshaw. Hey, I understand a bit more about this song.
Absolutely, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. Back onto the topic of music.
Yeah, go for it.
How do you reckon your relationship with music has changed over the years?
It's always changing, hey. Over the years. Oh, I don't even know what angle to come from here. I mean, I think back in the day I just liked performing because I liked singing loud. It felt really nice. And then I fell in love with songwriting. I do remember that moment. I was 11 and I was listening to a Paul Simon record. It was Bookends.
Okay.
And my dad, I played it at my dad's house and I was like literally sitting on the ground with the lyric leaflet, following along every word. And holy crap, like that album is so good. And the lyrics are just like, Paul Simon's just a masterclass in songwriting. I was following along all the words and I remember it was like the second song in. I just remember thinking, wow, okay, I get it. I get what songwriting is actually now, I think. That's cool. And he writes in a way that like, it feels like he's just written out the lyrics almost like a poem. And then the music's been shaped around it. Like the prosody is so strong. The relationship between the lyrics and the music is just so cohesive. And so it really hit me. And then I slowly, fell in love with writing songs. I guess I just at the time liked rhyming and the idea that I'd written my own song. And when I started doing a lot of band stuff, like my own band stuff, it was all original music mostly. And I'd write a lot of really crazy kind of almost like children's books kind of songs. Like nothing was personal, nothing was specific to my life. I was 14, 15. Really kind of wacky, fun. Could almost be on the children's stage.
I'm imagining like hop off the bus, girls. Going back to
well, there you go. A lot of my favorite songwriters write like that. I was a huge fan of like Roald Dahl as a kid, the author. So it was very in that kind of world.
Cool.
I realized a lot later. I was like, oh, cool. That actually seeped in, I think. And then around, I think it would have been 2018, 2019, I started just kind of naturally writing some songs about my own life for the first time. And that's when I slowly thought of the idea of doing my own project, somewhere for the songs to live, because, the band I was in at the time, I miss it so much, but we, definitely had a totally different shtick. And that's how Hassall came about as a project. And then since then, I feel like my relationship with music hasn't changed too much. I could go into lots of different angles here, but I do find I listen more nowadays to production and still not much. I've still like, if I listen to a song, I'm always listening to the lyrics first. But I do definitely notice more things around production and arrangement and even just like chord progressions and things like that. So I think my ears picked up in that way a little bit and I enjoy thinking about that stuff a little bit more. But otherwise, I just like a song with good lyrics, really.
It's the lyrics?
Always.
It's the lyrics
the main
focused?
thing, I have come to realise that like there are songs with good lyrics that the way they've recorded it or maybe even the chords or the structure hasn't quite done it justice, and it's still, I'm like, it still does need all those things for sure.
Yeah, okay.
For me. But for me, just a good set of lyrics and music that supports it is just all I love.
The visual in my head of the song that has amazing lyrics but poor support. I was wondering, do you view lyrics at the top with the stuff at the bottom?
Yeah.
Or do you view lyrics at the bottom with the stuff like going up from it?
Oh, it depends what's at the top and what's at the bottom. Like, I think in my head it's at the top and stuff's underneath it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even like the way I explained Paul Simon's writing, like I think my favourite songs feel like, I say a poem, but I don't necessarily like need to be poem structure, but it just feels like a story or a poem. Like the words are so pure and then everything else comes in and around it and kind of like supports it wherever it needs to go. I think most of my favourite songs feel like that. But I think, I'd say I view the lyrics at the top, and I'd say it like that because, it's like the first thing I notice, and then everything else kind of is literally sitting underneath it in my head when I'm listening. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you've got the album came out a month?
July. Yep, about a month. I think just over a month.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And you've just announced the tour.
Yeah, I
That's
did.
so
Yeah, just a
exciting.
couple of days ago I announced that.
And
Yeah.
that's 5 shows?
There's 5 shows.
So you're going, there's Adelaide, there's Sydney. You going up to Brisbane?
Yep.
Where else are you going?
Melbourne and Geelong.
Melbourne and Geelong.
Yep. Geelong's my
Hometown.
hometown. So yeah, I've only done one headliner there ever. So I figure it is time to do another there.
okay.
Yeah.
Is this the first Hassall tour?
It's the I did do one co-headline tour last year about the same time, July, which was awesome. But this is the first pure Hassall
Yeah.
tour. Yeah.
Unadulterated pure Hassall.
Unadulterated Hassall.
Okay.
I should have called the tour that, but it's it is the first one.
Yeah, okay. This came into my mind as well. If you were sitting down and interviewing, who's a favourite artist of yours?
Right now, always the first person to come to my head is Olivia Barton.
Okay.
She's a songwriter, and band-wise, Pinegrove.
No,
Obsessed.
oh, no way.
Yes
so,
way.
So I got introduced to Pinegrove on the weekend.
No way.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Pleasure.
I play in a band called Monroe, play drums with them. And the lead singer, I don't know if we were talking about music while we were at the gig. He's like, I'm pretty sure I've cracked on about this band heaps, but it's like Pinegrove. And I go, I don't know, I've never heard, I'm not sure. And he's like, listen to this. It's Blue.
Skylight.
He's like, listen to that. And I go, okay. And I put it on, and I don't know if he had talked about it, and if I had listened to it, but regardless, it's the right time.
Yeah.
And as
Well, you going through a breakup or something?
No, I'm not going through a
Because
breakup.
that's the right time
I
as
think,
well.
yeah, I can imagine. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think I'm just generally more emotional
Yeah.
on a whole at this stage of my life.
Yeah. And winter's good for it too.
Winter is good for it. Oh, yeah. So, okay, you're sitting down with Pinegrove.
Oh gosh.
I'm not sure who's the lead of Pinegrove.
His name's Evan.
Evan?
Yeah.
All right. So Evan's there, and he's about to go on the first unadulterated Pinegrove tour.
Oh my god.
Yeah?
Yep.
What would you want to ask him?
Oh. All right. Sick. Okay, I'd probably ask how many songs are you going to put in your set? Are you going to change it every night? And do you have to play old songs that you don't want to play?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how many songs are in your set?
Yeah.
You're gonna change it every night,
Yeah.
and you're gonna play any old stuff?
Sick. I think we're rehearsing our 12 songs. Yep. So it's like got a little bit of flexibility within. We're gonna play the whole album, is for certain.
Every night.
Every night, I think. Oh, there's one gig, the one in Adelaide. I think will be a little bit more like rowdier than the rest. I'm just making this up because the last time I played in Adelaide, it was the rowdiest gig I've
Really?
ever played
Never
on
been
a
to
Wednesday
Adelaide.
at the Cranker.
Wednesday night.
A free show on a Wednesday night at the Cranker. It was hectic energy, and we were like we could not play a slow song. Like that was just not an option. If we had a slow song, we played it fast, and it was fun as.
Sweet.
But it's just kind of more like hotel, like kind of pub vibe. The
Okay.
Adelaide show. It'll be really, really good. But we'll probably still play the whole album. But that might be one where just like, Far Out Williams, a pretty hectic song to play if you're not, if no one's listening.
Yeah, if you haven't got that crowd
it'd just be
locked in.
Yeah, it'd be so demoralizing. It's the same with there's 2 songs on this album, or maybe even 3 now. We've never played My Mind live. But Far Out William and Boss Level Shit, they're pretty demoralizing to play when
You just chatter
when no
in
one's
the
listening.
room.
Yeah, it's pretty hectic, and it's just kind of not worth it. But the goal is to play the album every night, and then we are going to rehearse up a couple of the older songs. And I don't really want to play most of them. I'd love to play some newer songs, but I just haven't really been on my songwriting game, so I'm not really feeling super comfy with any of the new ones enough to bring them to the band. And we will chuck a cover in there. But I am playing with a new band.
Really?
Yeah, still will.
I haven't seen you with a band.
sick.
I've only seen part of a set solo.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, true. I play a lot of solo shows, a lot of duo shows in different formats, and then a fair few band shows, and we're mixing it up for this tour. Playing with some really lovely friends of mine, and I think it will make the older songs fun to play with, kind of new parts, maybe new arrangements.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll make it fun.
Do we get the cover?
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Get Back by Margaret Glaspie. I
Okay.
was going to go for a classic, like a classic song that everyone knows. and then, make it my own, as they say. But I really, really like this song. I thought, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. If you haven't heard it, you should definitely
not.
check Margaret Glaspie out after this.
Yeah.
Because she's awesome. She's so good.
Who was the female songwriter you mentioned with Pinegrove?
Yeah, her name's Olivia Barton. She's from the
Barton.
US as well. And, oh, God, she's so good.
Yeah.
She's just so good. Both Pinegrove and Olivia Barton, like all my other top favourite artists, like took a fair bit of settling into listening to them. On first listen, I was like, I don't know what's going. Like, I don't really know what the hype is about.
It's that deep book thing.
100%.
Yeah.
And then you go back, and you don't know why, but you go back.
Yep.
And then eventually it becomes your favorite thing ever, and you realize the only reason you were uncomfortable with it in the first place is because you'd never heard anything like it.
Yep.
And it was quite unsettling.
Yeah.
But yeah, she definitely took a bit of settling into. Like the first listen through her, I was like, nah, not at all. And then, she's just probably my favorite songwriter now.
Yeah, maybe that was why the Pinegrove thing hit properly, was because I'd listened to things adjacent to it that were almost in that world. Mm-hmm. So stepping into it wasn't so jarring.
Yeah.
And when the Skylights album, like the production quality of that sounding like it's in I don't even know, like a small wooden room.
It's all in a room.
Tiny
all
little
of it's
room.
just in a room in a house.
Yeah, it just sounds like they've got room mics in there, and it's one of those things where it's like, how did they pull that off? And it would be like,
so
this is the
good.
most simple thing ever. They just play it in a room, and you go, it sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get nerdy about it, they do have some making of videos.
Oh yeah.
Of a different album, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, had a similar thing happen with Grace, with Jeff Buckley too.
Yeah.
The first, I don't even know how many times you listen to it and you go, this is whack.
Yeah.
What is going on here?
100%.
And then you get further into it and you go, oh Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still feel like that with any new Jeff Buckley, because I'm not like really familiar with his whole catalogue. I do know Grace quite well, but anything I listen to that I've only heard a couple of times from him, I'm still pretty uncomfortable with it. But
Yeah.
I know the genius is there,
Yeah.
and I know I'll understand it if I listen to it enough.
It's so funny. It's funny when you're pushing it back to that book idea. Hey, where it's kind of like intimidating, the time investment when you look at it and you go, I know that if I do, it's going to be worth it.
Oh, yeah.
But can I be bothered? And it's always worth it. But at the same time, I don't know why you can't get yourself to dive into the song.
100%.
Now, what are you reading at the moment? That's
Dracula.
okay.
Yeah, I'm about 50 pages in. Have you read it?
I have not.
Yeah. It's well, I don't know much about it. I borrowed it from a friend. It's like tattered as.
That seems fitting.
Yeah, it is. And he's actually never finished it. There's actually like 3 different bookmarks in there, and I'm like, that's definitely where you got each time you
This is
read
where
it.
people fell along the way.
Yeah, 100%. But another friend just finished it, and all he told me was it wasn't the book he expected it to be.
That's quite cryptic.
It is very cryptic.
Nice.
Yeah, and if I'm being honest, 50 pages in of about 350, 400, and I feel like everything has already been said. I'm very curious to see where we go after this, but it is hard to read. It is hard to read. I usually settle in at least, like, latest by page 100.
Yeah, okay.
You settle into the writing style. Yeah, so I'll see how we go.
Okay. Do you have a favourite song?
Probably My Mind at the moment.
Yeah, okay, that's going to the next one I was going to play.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, let's do it. It's probably My Mind. I also love Far Out William. Yeah, but My Mind is the one right now.
I always say that I'll ride an hour a day till I don't, till I watch the ocean blaze around, blaze it up, blaming anything but me for my total lack of creativity. I've been active on Instagram, I've been shopping around, I've been screaming for a while now. With my head in the ground, I've been thinking bad thoughts, I've been wanting to die. I mean, living ain't so bad, it's just it gets in the way of my mind. My mind. My mind. outside like we do most every night, talking shit, puffing pass back to me. I'll tell you how all my friends are making all the wrong choices, though their choices have got nothing to do with me. I've been practicing my big smile, I've been making it nice, I've been thinking about boys, I've been wanting to die, I've been putting out the real shit by making it small. I've been paying, my brain ain't bad, it's just it gets in the way of my life.
There's the album title in the BBs.
Oh, really?
Let's come back.
Is that with the acoustic guitar? It sounds so sparkly and so pretty. Is there like an octave acoustic guitar behind it?
There's a few things going on.
It
I
sounds
can't
like it's being
remember all of
pitched
it.
up or something behind there.
There's an acoustic.
Yeah.
There's a piano doing the same part, and there's I can't remember exactly what it is, but I just got the stems back, so I could actually dig in. It could have been another guitar because we did have. I think it was a Nashville tuned acoustic.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I reckon that's what it is then. Yeah, and there's some plucky parts on that as well, like in all that outro. Yeah, I love that sound, and the creaking sound is just Will, because Will was playing the acoustic guitar. It's just the drum stool he was on was just creaking. I was like, keep that in. It sounds so nice.
Is it an acoustic piano?
It was actually on the acoustic guitar part. That the creaking. Because it was just a room mic that we recorded it into, but it was there's actually a grand piano in the studio. It's not like it's in a separate room you have to hire as well. But we hired it for one day and we used the grand piano on a couple of things. And there was another song that had a lot of piano on it, but on this album, but I ended up cutting it in the end. I know.
B-sides?
Yeah, I would have a few B-sides actually of songs that never came to release. Just got to the end and I was like, it's just not quite it. Wasn't feeling awesome about it. And I really wanted to feel awesome about everything. So yeah, we ended up cutting it, but we did use the grand piano for a few more things. Yeah.
So that decision to not put everything on the album, you're following a feeling of it needs to feel awesome?
Well, it kind of ended up that way. There was one, so Dumbest Smile, which is on the album, that was written way after all the rest of the songs, and I'd already recorded most of the album. And it wasn't on there. And there was another song in there called Ducks in a Row, it's called. And I really like that song, and it's actually the first song I wrote when I decided to, this thing I told you about earlier, write for an EP called Means More to Me Than It Does to You. That day I wrote this song called Ducks in a Row. So it was kind of like it was the first song of this album. Yeah, the main issue with it was it just got to like the mixing stage and I just kept feeling like I needed to change the mix, change that, change it. Maybe it was the arrangement, maybe this and that. And I realized like, no, whenever I feel like that and I feel like it's getting really hard, I just realize it's actually I think it's always actually the writing. It's just not quite there.
Yeah.
But we got it to a kind of spot where it was almost finished. And then I'd started to listen to the album in full just to see how it felt, flow wise, really. And every song would start and I'd be like, yeah, let's go. And then that one would come on and I'd be like, oh, I want to skip it. And I thought, you know what? I can't have that. Like, it's my debut album. I want to feel good about every song. So yeah, I guess I was following the vibe of I want it to be awesome. And I thought, you know what? I reckon I've got a replacement song for it. Dumb as Smile. And then we recorded it and I couldn't be happier. Like I love Dumb as Smile. So
that's great.
Yeah, that's the story with that.
That I don't know what the, I mean, with the album that I made, I think that I have that feeling so strongly with songs that I'm listening to. And I'm just like, meh.
Yeah.
And I kind of just, in a sense, had accepted or have until I'm having this conversation with you, except that it's like, it just doesn't feel that good, but you know, whatever. But at the same time, that maybe it's something to do with feeling quite precious about the songs. You know, it's like, oh, my babies, they've got to see the light of day.
Yeah.
And then, you know, chopping block comes and pushing them off.
Yeah.
That takes like a certain sense of, I don't know, maybe it's maturity.
Maybe, I don't know. I definitely had people helping me with that.
Yeah?
Because I've felt like that a little bit with past releases. I don't care now that they're out. And there's nothing that makes me feel really yuck that it's online or anything. I would just take it down. But I guess it was a combo of listening to, you know, a lot of interviews with musicians and stuff, and they'd be like, yeah, I wrote this song, and then it just wasn't it. So we took it off the, like, you know, big musicians, took it off the album, and so many, like, you know, probably every good album had heaps of songs that didn't make it, or songs that they fully finished and then they realized they didn't want to release it, and like, that's okay. And in the moment, it feels really hard because, well, you probably put a fair bit of money into it, and that sucks. And it kind of changes the vision. It might change the timeline as well. Like that can be a really hard thing to accept. But in the end, I feel so much better for having switched it over.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you made the hard decisions along the way to get the product that you'd feel great about.
100%. And yeah, I've got this like folder now that I just keep adding my pretty much mastered, like mixed or mastered finished songs to that I haven't used. And I like the idea of that folder building up.
Yep.
It's kind of cool to like add it to that and have all these finished songs that never get used. Maybe one day use them for a random, this is what I never used.
Yeah, it could be time.
I think that's cool as well. So like I like that idea too. Yeah.
That's the One Wayne G.
What's that?
Yeah, the Mac DeMarco album with like 150
I
songs
do.
on it.
Yeah.
It's just like these are just stuck here. Let's get them out.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I think it could be a cool little SoundCloud release or something. So yeah, I like the idea of like adding to that. It feels like, little like brave steps I took. There's maybe like 3 or 4 in there now that are pretty finished that I'm like, you know what? It's just not it. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What is success in the world of music to you?
I feel success in like the tiniest little moments that happen, and they're usually things that like when I was a kid I thought something was cool, and that could be like I recently Googled my name. I was looking for something in particular, but I just typed in Hassall, and now I have one of those little things on the right hand side of Google now that has like Hassall musician, and I was like, that felt like success, if I'm being honest. Like, and like that's the kind of thing that you see that a musician has it feels legitimate, and it was just really cool. That thing, like things like that are really cool.
Yeah.
Love it when people tell me like that a specific song had a specific reaction in them, especially the more specific songs of mine that I don't really, have things in there that I've never really spoken to anyone else that has related to it. I have a song about the first one on the album, Dinner Table. It's about like misophonia. Like I really struggle with the sounds of people eating.
Okay.
And yeah, I really, really try not to talk about it too much because it feels super wanky and etc. But I had a audience member talk to me after a show recently, and they'd listened to my music before they saw the show, and they'd had this thing their whole life as well, and they were like, I've never heard a song about this, and I was just like, oh, like that just that really feels like means the whole world to me, and I love that it's not a super general thing. There's 2 examples for sure.
That's great. That the idea, it seems so feeling based, rather than metric based.
Yeah, 100%. It's got to be, right?
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope so, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of people, myself included, are stuck in that get to this many streams, this many followers, this many plays, because that is going to lead to a certain level of what would you call it? What's the word that they call it? Hidden and observable metrics.
Right, yep.
Right? It's an observable metric. I can see that he has 12,000 streams on that song and has this many followers, so therefore success. Whereas the hidden metric would be the person came up to me after the show and they said this song felt or resonated with them in this way.
Yeah.
And then it made me feel something. If someone asks, someone talks about your career span and they go, oh, they weren't very successful because they're going to say the metric, the observable metrics thing. Whereas you could feel like the most successful person ever because you go, every single show I play, people come up to me afterwards and you can see how genuine they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I recently pimped up my invoice template.
All right.
Like it's really colorful and stuff. Okay. And I was just like, you know what? Everything's branding. Like
a branded invoice.
Yeah, well, it's always had my logo on it.
Yeah.
But it's like Hassall colors, like fully yellow, and then everything else is like, it's all full colors. I thought, why not? Like, let's just get exciting with it. And no one said anything for months. Like, I've been sending it out for a little while. And the other day I got a reply from someone who I'd just invoiced. And they were like, this is the sickest invoice I've ever seen. And I was like, that was success.
Yeah.
Like that, I was like, I feel so much joy from that recognition. Yeah. So yeah, it really is in the little things. And I think it's in the little things, like especially the little unexpected things. Because you work over we're going back to social media. Like you work over a post for ages, you put it up, you hopefully get some likes. Like it feels good. It does feel good. But then like if I know if I was to see like someone make a lyric video for my song and put it up, I'd be like, whoa. Like that's what makes me feel really successful. Do you know what I mean? Those little unexpected things. So yeah, I think that's my answer.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's great. It's I've talked to I think 3 different artists now. A painter, and then Maddie Petch, and Salvador Peralta from the band Pet Therapy.
Yep.
And there's commonalities between everyone that I've spoken to.
Yeah.
There's always obviously a lot of differences too, but I've always struggled when I've talked to them when they say, you just feel it, you just know it, or when this thing happens, I get the feeling, and so on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? And just that's not has not been the way that I've operated.
Yeah.
But it's so common across the people that I've talked to so far, which has been really, really interesting to see. I do wonder the externalized validation. A success to me, Hassall, is when I get a response about the invoice template. The person comes up to me after the show, and so on. Do you ever get worried? Do you see it being a problem that success is being defined by the reactions from other people, like from praise coming from them to you?
Interesting. I thought that question was going to go a different way. No, I'm not. No. Because I could answer that question in a lot of different ways. Success is also, writing a song and feeling like proud of it, in my own space as well. Or even just finishing a song. So it's not solely reactions of other people, which is good, I think. But also I like the idea that I want my music to connect to other people. So I'm okay if I feel good when it does.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, yeah. That's where I'm at.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I was pretty stoked on that invoice template before I got that email.
I knew that thing was hot. I knew it was hot.
I know it's the best one out there. I just really like that someone noticed.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but yeah. Obviously, it is not a healthy thing to just rely on the reactions of others, and you can get into a pretty dark corner, I think, if you think about it too much.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. The upcoming tour is through September.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a plan for is that just priority one tour? And then we'll think about everything afterwards?
I've got a little mini project as well. I'm going to record a director's cut version of the album.
What does that mean?
It's pretty much the same thing, except I'm going to talk about all the songs in between them and just kind of re-release it. Just a bit of commentary, bit of context, a few stories. Yeah, that's it. So I'm just going to kind of
Hassall
narrate
audiobook.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Hassall audiobook. It'll probably go for more than double the length of the album. I'm actually recording that this week, so that'll be awesome.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and then probably just underscore each song, each talking bit with some stems from the songs, which should be really nice. That's the only thing I'm really I've actually got to output. I have a couple of live videos sitting there that I'm going to slowly drip release up until tour, I think. One live video and a couple of visualizers.
Far Out William.
Yeah,
your little visualizer is you singing it.
That's it. I did
that's coming.
That.
I saw
that's
it.
coming.
That's got to be coming.
It's coming very soon. Maybe this week or next.
Yeah.
Just need to finalize a couple of things, but it is finished, and I really, really like that video. So that'll come out soon. Yeah, a couple of visualizers, one for You're Stuck With Me for Good and one for My Mind. And that'll have a video. That'll mean there's a video for every song on the album, actually. So, I guess that's it. And then in August, before tour, I'm going in with just my partner Will, just into his studio. We're just gonna kind of, play instruments for a week and hopefully work up some new songs and start thinking about that next album, I guess.
Great. It's great to see that your output in terms of the peripheral content around the album. What is your relationship with that kind of content? Are you excited about doing it and making it and releasing it? I mean, obviously with the invoice template, it seems like you kind of enjoy it.
A little bit. I do. I mean, I'm sure this is one of the commonalities between artists that you've heard in these chats and in other chats, but I do struggle with online content in general. I feel a lot of pressure around it. I understand its importance, but it is hard to want to be in front of a camera a lot. I know I don't have to be, but blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Saying that, I've been doing a lot of these visualizers. I've released a visualizer for every song bar 2 now. And a life-changing decision of mine was to buy a $100 camcorder off Marketplace, and pretty much just me and my housemate Kez, who is an excellent creative in her own right. We just go out near our house really for each one and just fuck around really and just film it on the camcorder. And I just think it makes really cool looking stuff. And it's just easy. It feels pressure free. It's just fun to cut together, real scrappy. And I've just been doing all the editing for that. And I have actually really been enjoying that.
That's so good.
But I have an idea for My Mind. We haven't filmed My Mind yet because I have this idea, but the weather has to be kind of good. And it's just been horrendous recently.
Okay.
So that one I'm just kind of waiting for to complete. But yeah, I do get excited about music videos, and I love doing live videos as well. And these visualizers have been fun. Other than that, general socials content, it's pretty hard. I feel a lot of pressure around it, particularly pre-release. Just never feel like I've done enough. It's really hard.
Yeah.
I know I'm not alone in that, but it's really
absolutely
hard.
not. Yeah, no. Absolutely not. It's rare to meet someone who's I love posting on social media all the time. I don't think I've ever met anyone who's like that.
No.
Yeah. I got a couple more questions because you mentioned Far Out William, and I forgot to talk about that song. Let's play it a little bit.
Please.
This song blew me away when I heard it.
Thanks.
Far out, William. It seems like we're going uphill again. It feels like this month's been one big weekend, and it's only Friday. Far out, William. It's almost silly how you've made me feel again. Considering times just arriving in silence can turn one thought into a billion. I broke up with my boyfriend to get a taste of freedom, but now I just want William. I just want him. I broke up with my boyfriend to get a taste of freedom, but now I just want William. I wish I could say I was shitting ya, but watch me take hit off the hit of ya. You still give me head spins. For William, there's something in you I never saw in him. There's some things you do that just make me grin. I felt some brand of shame when you called off your engagement, but my insides kept on screaming, I want him, I just want him.
That is where I felt like the song flipped in subject matter.
It gets a bit more specific, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's all very specific, this song.
Yeah?
Yeah. But it
What's
does
it
get a
about?
little bit more gritty. It's literally just about my partner, Will.
Yeah?
I wrote it when we started kissing, which was maybe a month in. Yes, because I said this month's been, whatever I say at the start about the month that we just had at the time. And yeah, it was a pretty hectic time. I'd broken up with my partner not long before, and he broke up with his partner that he was actually engaged to. So it was pretty full on. And that's why I was saying this pre-chorus. Yeah, and it was just the start of a relationship with a really close friend. We've been friends for 13 years or so beforehand. Yeah, it's just about the trials and tribulations of that, I guess, and we're still together now, so that's nice.
How did you make the decision to keep that song just guitar? I mean, at the end it kind of builds ambience, but it's just your voice and the guitar, and you can hear that there's a band behind it, that there's so much space for the band, and the structure is perfect for a huge band part.
Oh, that's cool to hear, actually.
I'm hearing it there's so many moments where you're just this is, especially with in the context of the album, the kind of band dynamics that you have, that song seemed to set the stage for that. And how did you make that decision? How did that come about?
It's not it might be a great answer, it's up to you, but we had an hour left in the studio, and I didn't even know I was really recording an album yet. And we realized that if we recorded one more song, it'd probably be an album.
Yeah, okay.
And I was like, well, what should we record? And I'd had this song written it'd probably have been about 2 years at this point, a year and a half. But I never, ever thought I'd record it. It just felt like a very private song. But I was like, far out, William. Will was like, yeah, all right, scary, but do it. And it was I wouldn't have recorded it if I'd always pictured it with a band. I would have wanted to wait and do it right.
Yeah.
But there was a song I was listening to a lot at the time by Olivia Barton, who I mentioned before. It's called Fun, and it's just her and the guitar, and you can tell it's live. You can tell it's at the same time. If it's not, it's done very well, but it feels really live. A lot of push and pull, and it's super raw sounding. And I was like, I want it to sound like that. And the song Fun, Olivia's song, is really also really personal, pretty heartbreaking. Saying a lot of shit you just wouldn't usually hear in a song. And I thought, I think it'll honor these lyrics more if it's just me going for it. And I'm so glad we did it, because I think it's really, really nice. And yeah, then it's just in that bridge part, the synths kind of layer in and create some drama, which I love that part too. But Yeah, it ended up probably being my favorite like sounding song on the album. And this was like, we only did 3 takes, maybe only 2. This was the second take that we did. And it was, just me on the guitar and vocals at the same time. And what was I going to say? I like that you can hear some kind of mistakes. I don't know if you call it mistakes, but like a few like little wavering moments and pitch bends in my vocal. But I like that you can tell it's a live vocal. I mean, maybe you can.
Yeah.
Because then I think it's nice to like hear what an artist sounds like, kind of raw as well. So yeah, I'm just happy we did it, and I'm so glad we recorded it, and it's on the album.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous song. It's a gorgeous song. Are you putting a band to it, or when you play it as just?
We will play it, and the band will be on stage, and
they'll be there.
They'll at least come in for that bridge moment. We haven't started arranging this one yet, and I think it will be an in the room thing. But it's really interesting to hear you say that, because it does make me think, what would that sound like? It definitely wouldn't be for the whole song. I definitely think it deserves a little bit of a raw moment, but potentially. Yeah, potentially for sure. I can hear it in the chorus.
Yeah. It's funny to hear you say, I like that I can hear like these wavering moments in my vocals. So that the performance on that song is insane.
Thanks.
Do you know that? Like, you know that?
Thank you. I'm happy with it.
That's crazy.
There's literally there's 3 moments, I can pinpoint them, that I like kind of twitch slightly.
Yeah.
But I'm way less self-conscious about them being in a live take than I would be if it was any other song on this album. I would hate that.
Yeah.
But I like it. Yeah, I kind of like it in this one. It feels real.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but thank you. I mean, that's lovely. It's a big sing, this one. Yeah. It goes real low too.
Yeah, you're moving all over the place with that one.
Yeah.
How are you with compliments? How do you feel? Does it feel when I'm just like, that is insane. It's so good. What?
I mean, I guess it's all right. Yeah, I don't feel super uncomfortable.
That's good.
It feels genuine, so it's nice. But how am I with compliments? Yeah, I guess I'm all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How are you with criticism?
Well, it depends who it's coming from.
Yeah, okay.
I honestly, not sure.
Does it happen very often?
Oh, it happens every now and then. It definitely does. And I guess maybe sometimes I'm good with it, sometimes I'm not good with it. But often it comes around later and you think, yeah, I'm glad I heard that. Yeah, even if I'm not good in the moment. Usually.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay. We can wrap it up.
Yeah, easy.
So, Matilda.
Yeah.
Hassall. Thank you so much for the album and for coming and doing this. It's been awesome to chat with you.
Thank you so much. It's been lovely.
And I'm very excited to see you play during the tour.
Thank you.
And good luck with that.
Thanks.
And hopefully this gets to be one of those interviews such as the one we referenced with the Pine Grove before they blew up.
Yes. I hope so too. No, thank you so much for having me. This has been so
also,
lovely.
I would love to, even to do another interview after the tour.
Yeah.
I can be like, how was Adelaide? Did it pop off?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see if it's punk as. Yeah, I would love that. I'd love that.
Okay, great.
Beautiful. Thanks, Vinny.